Welcome to this very special and unique tutorial that will help you master and succeed when you participate in your next assessment center or development center. For the sake of convenience, I will henceforth refer to them as ACs and DCs. Let me assure you that after going through this set of videos, you will know all about ACs and DCs and will know the finer aspects of how an assessor assesses you. This in turn will help you prepare and excel in one. Let me introduce myself. I am Umesh and have been working in people development domain for past 10 years. I want you to think back to many exams and competitive activities you have participated in your educational and work journey so far. Think of CAT, the Combined Admission Test for Engineering, or GMAT for Business School Admissions. Those of you who joined special preparation classes would have done far better than those who did not, everything else like scholastic achievements, intelligence being the same. Think of this class or tutorial in exactly the same manner. If you know what an examination contains and what are evaluation criteria, you are already one step ahead. Additionally, if you get an opportunity to practice with similar tests, you definitely perform better. And if you have someone evaluate and give you feedback on your practice work, you are bound to do even better when you finally take the test. In reality, there is nothing new in the process that I'm going to take you through. One more tip. The videos will give you the knowledge. However, how well you do in an actual assessment center will totally depend upon how much hard work you put in to assimilate the knowledge, practice actual activities with feedback on the practice work, and more of it. Only Rajnikant will come tops in an assessment center without proper practice. Through other methods like performance management systems, the management has a good idea about how an employee is performing in his current job. However, when they are planning to promote him to a senior job requiring more complex tasks and responsibilities, his current performance may not give reliable indication to the question. Those of you who are into reading management literature, please read famous book by Ramcharan and others titled The Leadership Pipeline. It's a great book with the important theme that in any organization, 6 different levels of leadership exist. People need to make skills and value transition at each level. Simply speaking, what skills and abilities are sufficient to succeed at one level are not adequate for the next higher level. And simply working hard and succeeding at a given level does not necessarily help you acquire skills and abilities at the next higher level. ACs and DCs are tools for management to assess that gap. So as we have shown here, the assessment centers are used for promotions, chalking out career paths for managers, creating development plans for managers, and recruitment purposes. Whatever be the final use, it is well accepted that doing well in an assessment center is vital for the career of business executives.
What is the difference between an assessment center and a development center?
It's a good question. In an assessment center, competencies are assessed. In a development center, the assessment is followed by a one-on-one feedback to the participant or the assessee by the assessor. In this discussion, the assessee is told about his areas of strengths and areas of development, keeping in view current and future roles of the assessee. This discussion is held in a transformational coaching mode and not in a transactional feedback mode. An effective developmental feedback process significantly enhances the value of the whole process. Let's start with competency. What is a competency? Competency is a cluster of related knowledge, skills, and attitudes. It affects major part of one's job or role. It can be measured against well-accepted performance standards, and it can be developed through training. I strongly suggest that you download the Universal Competency Framework shown here, which is in the public domain. Do this 2 to 3 months before you have to go for a development center. What better preparation you can make than to start understanding what you are being assessed for. Please make a note. I have listed here a number of competencies which by and large cover most of the competency frameworks which organizations use. These are strategic thinking, analytical thinking, problem solving and decision making, result focus, business acumen, change management, people development, collaboration and teamwork, customer focus, drive for excellence, leadership, communication, innovation and creativity. Have a look at this. Each of these competencies is made up of a number of behaviors and sub-behaviors that form and determine our personality and determine the way we conduct ourselves in the world and get our successes and failures. And the competencies we have shown in the earlier slide can be put in these four buckets. Some are connected with conceptual thinking, others are related to actual doing things and getting results, few others are people and relationship oriented, and some are personal traits. Now do not get psyched by these big words. These sound big, but in reality each competency comprises of a number of simple day-to-day behaviors that a successful business manager practices and uses. For example, when I'm actively scanning and assimilating data and information in my business environment, tracking changes happening in my industry related technology, monitoring competitive activity, understanding global trends and making use of above to create and specific action plans to benefit my organization, I'm demonstrating strategic thinking abilities. Or when I intuitively and regularly look to improve methods and processes all the time, show a continuous learning and improvement mindset, proactively seek feedback from internal and external customers on products, programs and services and work on the feedback, keep focus on maintenance and improvement in quality and accuracy, continuously benchmark with best in the industry, I demonstrate drive for excellence. You will realize that you actually do many of these things anyway. Agreed? So these are not really like how am I going to acquire this or I feel overwhelmed with this kind of stuff. But you may be demonstrating them at a level which is moderate or high or low. Do you do them as second thoughts and when told, or these are your inherent nature? So in effect, the competencies are not something new for you, but most of the times the benchmark or the expectations set by management are at a much higher level than what a normal executive or a manager demonstrates. Our class here is focused on helping people with competencies mainly in the bucket A, but we will also cover many traits in buckets B and C. Traits contained in bucket D may not be learned in these exercises.
I have been handling sales in North India for auto parts. I have been regularly meeting and surpassing my targets, and my management is happy with my work. But I have scored poorly in the assessment center on strategic thinking and business acumen. And this is stalling my promotion as national sales manager. I do not know what to do.
Well, this question has come to me many times. For a successful manager like you, this lack of demonstrable ability in conceptual space is essentially due to the fact that your focus in workplace over the years has denied you opportunity to understand the need for, acquire and hone these competencies and behaviors. These competencies are essential for senior managers to be effective and successful when working at a level of business head. And you will acquire them in some part by using the insights in these tutorials and in a large part by getting opportunity to learn and practice them in real workspace. An assessment center uses some or all these activities: behavioral human interview known as BEI, case analysis and presentation, role play, group discussion, group simulation, mail tree. Sometimes candidates are also asked to make presentation on their actual workplace achievements. I'll tell you in detail about each of these tools in separate videos.
Which competencies are assessed by which tool?
Well, each of the activity listed above is used to observe and assess you in 3 to 4 competencies, maximum 5. I will not confuse you here by discussing which tool is used to assess which competency, and share this with you when I'm actually discussing that particular activity. Some more useful tips. Normally a center will have 10 to 12 participants. The number of assessors who are trained for this work will be approximately half the number of participants. Most of the time, no advanced material is given to participants. They get to know everything after they land up at the center. All material used in an assessment center or development center is neutral to the industry from where the participants have come. Anybody working in a particular industry or in a particular department would not have any distinct advantage. Time management is crucial. Avoid all distractions like laptops, mobile phones for the day. Most assessment centers run for 1.5 or 2 days. In case of a development center, an extra half day is provided at the end for coaching feedback. Assessment centers also use psychometric tests like DISC, MBTI, etc. Results of these tests are used in conjunction with assessment center results. Our session here will not be covering these. Watch our videos on BEI, role play, case analysis, group discussion, in-tray, group simulation. So friends, I hope you now have a good understanding of assessment and development centers. If you have any query on what has been discussed so far, please feel free to write to the email address given here. I promise I will respond to you promptly. Please also write in what way I can make this class better. I truly welcome your feedback. Happy learning!